Get closer so it
Okay.
the video can get you, so I can so I can boomerang you later.
What am I gonna do in the boomerang?
That sounds dirty. Sorry.
Ew.
It's a sex thing.
I thought we wouldn't talk about that.
That's our special thing. Yo, you want to get boomeranged tonight, baby?
What's that movie? Is it ahead? I'll ask Elaine 'cause she'll say I haven't seen it.
Welcome to the Haven't Seen It podcast. It's a podcast where we bring people on the show and we get them really drunk and they tell me about a movie that I've never seen before. I'm Alenka Zach.
And I'm Will.
Pew, 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 pew.
No, you don't. No.
That's right, bitches. I get to do it
You
now.
stole my thunder.
I
All
know. It's my
Well,
thing.
I'll use that on another episode.
There was just such a delay. I was like, if he doesn't do it, I might have to step up. I might have to be
Oh,
the man of the hour. I don't know.
well,
Oh,
we
no.
did establish that you wear the pants in the podcast.
Only a little bit. I feel like not at all, though. At all. I wear the pants, but Will irons the pants. Yes, that makes lots of sense.
Yeah,
I
makes
said
them all
this so many times.
smooth, wrinkle-free.
Makes them perfect. And then I just present them. It's
Yeah.
great.
Stitches all the holes.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of who wears the pants, I'm so excited.
I was gonna say, you iron?
Oh,
dig.
shit. You guys, you heard your first dig of the night from our beautiful, lovely, talented guest. We have Samantha Polzin, the extremely talented Toronto photographer, back on the show.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
I'm glad
Photographer
to have you back.
first, my partner second.
I traveled very far from my kitchen to my living room to be here.
Yes. It was so convenient. That's been the plus side of all of this is nobody had to go too far. Nobody had to disrupt the COVID train or whatever.
That's true.
And listeners will remember Samantha Polzin, not only photographer, but returning guest all the way from episode number 2.
Here to redeem myself. Less slosh.
But also probably equally as slosh, but maybe just not as quickly this time.
Yes, just give it a
Yeah.
little bit.
We're
Yeah.
going to drink slowly throughout rather than pounder full of shots.
They did that to me last time.
Yeah, I don't know if we had mentioned this last time, but basically the backstory of episode 2 was that, oh, that's right, Will and I had recorded 2 episodes in one day. So we recorded episode 1, and that was fine. You know, Will was having a couple drinks for episode 1. And then episode 2, we had Sam come on for our next guest, and she was joining us that evening. And she came home and she was like, shit, like Will's going to be drunk already. I need to catch up. So she just pounded.
Caught up, I did.
Pounded a couple, I think they were Angry Orchards.
No, so there was Angry
Really?
Orchard, but there was also
Oh, but we gave her the
Sourpuss?
the Matrix
The drink.
shots as well.
That's
yeah.
Blue
right.
Curacao shots.
Yes.
Probably in a span of about 15 minutes. And I don't really drink hard
Yeah.
liquor. So
Yeah.
it was a time.
That's
Yeah,
my
it hit
girl.
hard.
Oh God.
What a segue.
segue.
Oh, that was a good segue.
I knew you were
Oh.
going to make that joke at
Yes,
some point.
everyone. We are talking about the classic Macaulay Culkin film,
Oh,
My Girl.
Is it?
You didn't know he was in that?
No.
Oh.
I mean, it's not his film,
Okay.
but he's in it.
Yeah. He's a big part of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would say a classic Macaulay Culkin film would obviously be
Home Alone.
Home Alone. Yes.
Yeah.
For a moment, I thought that might have not been what the title was. So I had a brief pause.
Well, I mean, speaking of that you didn't know he was in this movie, what do you know about this movie?
Right. Yeah. And I'm so upset because, as per most of the movies, this one I only know the title. Actually, maybe this is the first one that I really only know the title. I didn't know Macaulay
Okay.
Culkin was in it. My Girl, the first thing I associate that with is obviously that song.
Mhm.
And who sings that? Couldn't tell you. Is it Billy Joel?
I think it's the
It's the
Temptations.
Temptations.
Yeah.
No, I know. My Girl. Talking about My Girl. My girl, Earl. My girl Earl. That could be a thing. But I gave it a little bit of thought, and I came up with a plot that could maybe be real. I think. Is it my girl's plot? I don't know.
I'm excited.
But this is what
Take it
I
away.
think. I definitely think that I don't know when this was made. I'm going to say like late 80s, maybe early 90s. And that time, I just feel like this sort of movie would happen where like basically the main premise is some guy ends up being the caretaker for a young girl and decides to
Okay.
adopt her at the end.
Oh,
Basically, that is what
That
I
does
kind
sound
of
like
like.
an early 90s
Doesn't
movie.
it?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty
could be
sure
real.
that something like that exists.
Yeah. Like a more wholesome Big Daddy.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but maybe.
Oh.
more wholesome.
That's Adam Sandler, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Something, that's what I kind of thought after, because I was like, okay, maybe it's a love story, but I was like, no way. Can't be a love story. But, I mean, it could be. But then I was like, okay, let's get a little creative. Adoption. So.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you're pretty off course, but
Yeah, no, I figured. I could tell.
Yeah, the title of the movie doesn't really
doesn't really give away the
give
plot.
away anything. Yeah, it's
Really?
not really
You
tied
do
to
kind of-
anything.
yeah, it's not really like super related to the
No.
plot.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess thinking about it now, you could tie it to a few.
I mean, you could write,
aspects,
but
but
like
it's
a
pretty
post-grad
general,
thesis
right?
on why it's
Yeah.
connected
Sure.
to the plot, but that's not
If
what we
you're-
do here at
if
Haven't
you're-
Seen a Podcast.
No, we come up with the most outrageous things and try to pass it off as a plot.
Well, I'll have to applaud you for, I guess, the shortest plot synopsis you've done.
I think so, yeah.
Pretty
Because-
intricate, yeah.
Yeah, well, because sometimes, because usually actually I gather a couple other like clues from like the drink or like the pre-record conversation. So
Mhm.
this time, like I really, nothing, like our drink.
The
We'll
drink
get in.
doesn't spark anything for you?
No,
Well,
confusion really, if anything.
Okay.
The only thing that maybe this would spark is like opposites attracting or something. Blueberries, we'll get into that, but I don't know. I don't know. Is she a blueberry farmer?
We will get into that.
Yeah.
But first, Sam, why did you choose this movie to talk about?
Oh, well, good question. I owned the DVD long ago.
That's the only
That's
reason.
why.
We
No,
own
no,
the DVD.
You know
We
what?
don't want to illegally download
We had to
anything.
watch it.
I just remember having this one on DVD. And I'm pretty sure back when my mom and I used to do movie nights when I was a kid, she would introduce me to all of
Oh,
these
so
movies
fun.
that took place in like the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s.
Mm.
And this was one of them. And so I just really latched onto it, I guess. And I watched it many, many times. But it had actually been a while. I obviously recently watched it pre this podcast episode. So yeah, it was nice to go back to it. But it's just like a feel good. And then if you want a really good cry, I have to say there is
Oh?
like a really good part in it where every time I just want to have a good cry, this is one I'd go
no.
back to. Yeah.
Oh
And
no!
I think anyone who knows this movie knows the exact line where you break. So we'll get to that, obviously. But
Does this have some famous lines? like
not really. No, nothing
Okay.
that's
Yeah, I would say it
been,
wouldn't
like,
doesn't have
iconic.
famous lines. It's a famous movie. It's
it's a well-known movie.
beloved movie. Coming
Okay.
of
It's
age
like a wholesome
tale.
coming of age, like my favorite.
Yeah.
Wholesome coming of age. I love a good coming of age
Yeah.
movie in this decade. So yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It's
Yeah,
right
I
in
was
her
curious what
wheelhouse,
genre
early
it is.
90s.
Pardon?
Right in your wheelhouse.
Oh
It's
yes,
early
absolutely.
90s.
This is my
Yeah.
my
I
favorite
feel like
time. So
good movies kind of came out of there, but what do I know? Why do
Well,
you? What's your association with this movie, Will?
My association, honestly, didn't watch it until I met Sam.
Oh, yeah.
So this will probably be, I think this is my third time watching it.
Yeah.
I think we might have
I don't
watched it
think we
twice before.
Watch it as much as we watch When Harry Met Sally,
When
but
Harry Met Sally is
That's
like
a yearly
monthly
tradition.
endeavor. So
yearly. Oh, talk about monthly, maybe.
Oh my gosh, I'm still
Um,
shocked by the fact that you guys watch it monthly and don't get tired of it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Will probably is, but
no, I like it. I enjoy it every time we watch it.
I like it.
he puts up with it.
It's good.
We've probably seen this about maybe even just 2 times, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe just twice. This is the second time, but it's a great film, and it has that 90s feel.
Yeah, there's just a vibe
there's
about
like
it,
a soundtrack, and kind of there's a little bit of pointiness, but it's still really heartfelt.
Yeah,
it has Dan Aykroyd in it.
Yeah,
which
and
is
Jamie Lee
awesome.
Curtis, who I love.
Oh,
I love anything she's in,
Mhm.
and she's
Freaky
a very
Friday
young.
was my
And
favorite.
it stars Anna Chlumsky.
Anna Chlumsky was her debut movie.
Chlumsky.
So
Who's she?
introducing,
Yeah.
and honestly, I really don't know what else she's in. This
I
was
don't-
her one time. Oh, there's actually also a My Girl 2, I have to say, that is just as good as the first one.
Mm.
Which isn't very
Coming of
that
age,
usually doesn't
heartfelt
happen.
90s movies don't usually have sequels.
No, but this
Sequel,
one has
yeah.
a good sequel. Yeah.
Like this,
Wow.
we haven't watched that one.
Mm-mm. We haven't.
Does someone come in and is it kind of like Terminator 2? And it's like, it's super action packed.
You can't say that because I still don't
No.
know what that means.
It's just as wholesome and early 90s-esque as this one.
All
Wait,
right.
is Terminator 1 wholesome and then Terminator 2 gets crazy?
No, I'm just saying that most movies that are sequels are generally like either super dramatic and super thriller or action. They're not generally
The same,
coming of age wholesome.
right, as the
90s
first one.
movies.
No, this is exactly the same, just a completely different
All right.
focus. Yeah, for the
Okay.
plot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Well, yeah.
yeah, on that note, can you get into your drink? Because.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
drink. My drink for
okay.
this episode is called the Mood Ring.
Oh, I used to love mood rings.
Well, it's a plot point later on. So
Mine were always
you're over
blue,
it.
which just meant calm, which I highly doubt because I'm sure that I was not a calm child.
Yeah. I think they're always just one color. Mood rings lied
I
to
know.
us all these years.
Yeah.
And I also have to take credit for the name because that was, that was
Sam
mine.
came up with the
What
name.
is the name?
I think I've also come up with some
The
other
mood
kinds
ring.
of drinks you've had
Nice.
on these episodes, and I have not been credited appropriately.
Sorry.
Whoa, Will,
But
I'm
We are-
disgusted by you.
I'm here to toot my own horn.
Just
so
assume that you had help in it.
I'm the genius.
Well, I know I wasn't helping, so I'm glad somebody's helping.
Well, the drink is both whiskey and gin
Yeah.
because I feel that they're very opposite liquors.
Oh.
And in a mood ring, you want it's like two different moods,
you get
There's
emotions.
there's
You get the whole
also,
spectrum.
also when you drink it, it should be two pretty strong alcohols combined, so that after you're done drinking it, you think that you might die. You're like convinced that you're gonna die.
Oh my god, that's a part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the
You
hope,
went
is
there.
that you mix
May
these
I
alcohols. What?
may I make one adjustment to your drink already?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think because it's supposed to symbolize a mood ring, you should have put all the liquors in it. Every single one.
Oh, true. That could have
Like a
worked
swamp
too.
water.
You know what? That's,
Yeah.
that's bonus. If our listeners want to add more alcohols to it, be my
It
guest.
would make more
They do.
sense.
I didn't even want to.
I know. I didn't
Whiskey
either, but you
and
know
gin.
what? It doesn't taste as gnarly as I thought it
Mm.
was going to.
I didn't even go there. I just have gin. So yeah, sorry.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, so there's gin, whiskey. There's soda water for base. There is, squeeze of lemon juice as well as
Or-
some honey inside. Honey
Yes, that's a key
is a
ingredient.
key ingredient.
They're beekeepers.
Who knows?
We don't
We'll figure
know.
it out.
Yeah.
They
Honey
must
is
be.
in there, and then blueberry is for the blue mood. A blue mood.
The
is
blue
the
mood.
important
Okay.
mood. Yeah.
Which is calm, if I
think it's-
recall.
It's happy, I think. calm, happy. No?
Content.
Oh, you probably know better than
I
me.
feel, well, no. I just
It
know
always
mine was
blue.
always blue. And I was like, why won't it go orange?
Yeah.
And I was obviously infuriated by this mood ring. So the fact that it never changed, I was like, come on, obviously false information. I'm fuming.
I think I always wanted one, but I never had one of my own.
Oh,
I know.
I had a mood toe
horrible
ring.
childhood. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funky.
Yeah. Toe rings are the most uncomfortable accessory.
Yeah, they really were.
Yeah. It's like toe socks. Why do we have them?
Why do they exist? Yeah.
Why do they exist?
Yeah,
They're not
toe
comfortable.
Mm.
Everybody knows you have toes. You don't need to show them. We know what's under the sock.
Yeah, you can still walk in normal socks. So I
Yeah.
don't even know what the point is.
You
having
don't
your
really
toes
get extra
showing.
grip because there's still cloth between you and the linoleum.
There you go.
So
Damn
anyways,
toe
that's the rant on that's my toe sock bit. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me some feedback. I'll be working that out at Yuck Yucks later. Just kidding. Yuck Yucks doesn't exist anymore, basically. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, on that note, Sam.
Yeah.
How does this movie
Start. How does it start?
Oh, Will's got the sound effect.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so the movie opens to Anna Chlumsky's face, just her face.
And it is.
She's talking about a time when she choked on a chicken bone.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah. And it's just like this rambly monologue at the beginning. She's talking directly to the audience about this chicken bone getting stuck in her throat. And I think she goes on about that exact incident for the whole opening, right?
Yeah, and I think it's supposed to an insight into her character is that she's kind of a bit morbid.
Yeah, she's a hypochondriac, basically. Like she is. Well, we get into that more too, but she is worried about a lot of things involving her health, and yeah, it's pretty funny. It ends on a pretty funny note, and then I think it immediately goes into a scene with her and her dad.
Yeah.
So we're introduced to Dan Aykroyd. And
who is he?
Dan Aykroyd?
I know him, but
he's in a lot of stuff.
Ghostbusters, the main guy in
Ghostbusters. Okay.
He's prolific Canadian.
I know who he is.
From Saturday Night Live and SCTV. He's great. Yeah. Maybe not SCTV, is he? I can't remember. But he is prolific and great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Okay.
And and he's clearly her father. Awesome. And she's, I think at that, wasn't she talking about like one of her boobs being bigger than the other?
To her dad?
Yeah.
Is he a single parent?
Or am I thinking of another movie?
Might be another movie. I don't remember that because.
Oh my God, because she's only 11.
Yeah.
She's super young, but she's asking him about another health issue as well. And it's he's obviously heard this before. You can tell this is like old hat.
Yeah. Well, like I'm trying to, again, we watched this
a few weeks
ago now. So it might be a little rough, but I do know that the next scene definitely is an interaction with her father, who we find out they live and he runs a funeral parlor and he is a mortician. Or a funeral director. So they
live in the funeral home.
So
they do?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Ew.
And in the basement is where he preps and embalms the bodies.
The bods.
Clients.
Yes. Yucky. No.
Yeah.
That's where she gets her morbidity from.
Yes.
Obviously.
She go down there? Does she go down there on occasion?
There's definitely scenes where she's down there
but she doesn't look. She's always like has her back. Because like her dad will be like, hey, can you get me this thing? And he'll like she'll hold it out, but then have her back against the wall so she doesn't see the dead bodies because she's not allowed to really be down there to see anything.
Yeah,
and she does go down there. She has to close her eyes.
Get me this thing, but do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we're also very quickly introduced to her grandmother as well, who is a very old lady who I want to say has Alzheimer's or she's checked out.
I believe in the 90s, and then I'll also say this movie is in the 70s. It's the summer of 72.
It's filmed in the
90s.
early 90s.
Early 90s. 91 was when it was released.
But it takes place in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
great year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The 70s was a great year.
Yeah.
I mean, some people probably thought it was just a year because they were so high.
Yeah. Cool hairstyles, though. Good bangs.
Cool clothes. Lots of like great outfits. I love all the outfits.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
A lot of cult creation, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's true. But her grandmother is just sort of sitting in a rocking chair for most of the movie and doesn't speak, except for some incidents,
which we'll get to.
Where she does say comedic things, and it's pretty funny. But you can tell she crawls into her lap and gives her a kiss on the cheek, and I think that's part of that opening scene as well, where they sort of establish that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the opening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
And then here I'm just like trying to pull from my. Gosh, it's funny. I have seen this movie many times, but
yeah. We're pretty quickly, I would say, we're introduced to another main character of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Jamie
Macaulay
Lee
Culkin?
Curtis's character.
Oh, sick.
Is Shelley.
Wait, but it doesn't happen that fast.
It happens pretty fast.
No, first we get introduced to Thomas J.
We do. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
right.
you know what?
No.
I'm lying. We missed a whole part. Oh, man, we should have watched this movie like a week ago. So you're going to have a do. Editing to do. So here's what happened.
No, I'm not editing it. We're just going to go back.
The movie starts with that whole thing, but then it goes right into a group of young kids, young little boys, and we're like, I don't know, 8, 9, a little younger than her, some of them. And she's taking them through the funeral home on a tour that they've all paid for.
Oh, I knew it.
Like a nickel, a dime,
that was like big money.
Jacks. I don't know what they exchange. And she's telling them that she's going to show them a dead body.
Yuck.
Yes. Okay. This is how you meet her grandmother.
Them pay more.
Oh yeah, no, she definitely, you can tell she's got a really big personality. And the main character is Veda. I don't know if we said that, but her name is Veda.
Okay.
The dad is Harry. And she takes him through the house and they get to this casket and she's talking a big game. And then all of a sudden her grandma, who is just sitting in this rocking chair, starts to rock in it. And all the kids freak out and scream. And they're like, "You're crazy, lady." And they all run out of the house.
How so crazy of you to rock in that chair.
No, she told the kids that that was a dead body.
That was a dead body.
Yeah,
her grandma.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And so they all get freaked out. So then after that scene ends, she then crawls into her grandmother's lap and gives her a kiss on the cheek just to show that like she's not scary. She was just.
Yeah. We are introduced to Thomas J. in that scene, and that he's played by Macaulay Culkin, and he's this little boy.
He's not in that scene.
Yeah, he is. He decides he's not going to go on the tour.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's too afraid. He doesn't want to go on the tour with the rest of the boys, and they all make fun of him. And we kind of see he's kind of a kid who gets made fun of.
Yeah, he's a little scrawny, like kind of shy kid
with glasses,
and he's just a sweet, like soft-spoken little guy.
Little wuss.
He's a little punk. Yeah, no, it's
just
cute.
Little Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. So they're you know right away they're best friends.
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
They are.
Or are they to be best friends?
No, they are already best friends. You can tell. And she obviously she calls him like a big baby and she makes fun of him. But it's in a friend kind of like joking around manner, and they just have this cute relationship. It's really nice.
And I would say, like, I guess she's kind of portrayed a little bit like a tomboy.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, for sure. And she's really sassy. I really like her character. She's got a lot of spunk.
She got yes.
Yeah, she's spunky. So now we're catched up. We're caught up. Catched up. We're catch up.
We catched up. Catch me if you can. I don't know that movie.
Then we're introduced to. That's basically the introduction of the grandma, and that the fact they live in a funeral parlor, and that her dad is funeral director, and there's dead bodies in the basement, because then we see her go down the basement just where the real dead bodies are.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, she does. There is real dead bodies there.
Yeah, I think her dad asked her to go down and grab his cigarettes. They do lots of crazy things in that basement, for sure.
We talked about makeup, and that's how we're introduced to, I was going to say Tommy Lee Jones' character. No.
Jamie Lee
Curtis' character. Shelley.
She an Avon saleswoman?
No, we've missed a whole part.
What part?
Are skipping ahead.
What part?
We missed the part where she goes to the doctor's office with Thomas J.
Yes,
so when Thomas J is introduced, Thomas J, her little friend, Macaulay Culkin, I can never say his name. It's Macaulay Culkin. I always say Culkin. So once we're introduced to him, the two of them ride bikes together to the doctor's office, and she goes up to the doctor and she starts to tell him about how she's sick. And you can tell at that point that the doctors have seen her many times. And they're like, what's wrong with you today, Veda? And let her in.
Did we say her name yet?
Veda. I've already said that, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Because I realized we didn't right away. Yeah, where are you? And you can tell they've seen her many times. And it's funny. I'm like, wow, what a great doctor's office. She just saunters on in there and goes straight in to see him no matter what.
Yeah, right.
It takes me like a month to get a doctor's appointment. So
I don't want to get started. I will give her full name, though. She has terrible reviews online.
I like my doctor a lot, but my doctor's office, it's tricky to find a spot. Anyway. So she goes in and the doctor inspects her, and she had recently gone down to grab something from the basement, as we said, and saw on the wall that the guy who died of prostate cancer. And so she tries to tell the doctor that she has prostate cancer, which is impossible. And so that leads to a whole thing where you then for sure realize that she's scared of death. And you can tell, or you know this because her friend, Thomas J., tells the front desk lady that that's why she's always coming in, because the front desk lady's like, why do you think Veda comes in here all the time? And he's like, she's afraid of dying. He says something very wise and profound, and I don't know exactly what it is.
He says a lot of wise,
but he says something. Yeah, he's very
that I don't remember.
Something about how, I don't know. I'm not going to try to quote it. But he understands her. He gets her. He knows where she's coming from. And so it kind of strengthens their bond as well. Because you know that, they're really close friends. And he obviously sees her for who she is. And so we missed that part. Okay. And now I think we can probably go into meeting.
Now
Jamie
you
Lee
may
Curtis.
Present.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Go ahead, babe.
Young Jamie Lee Curtis steps out of her hippie van. She's definitely
it's a great
the
van.
Hippie vibe. And I will say Dan Aykroyd's character and like Veda's family, like they're the 50s, 60s kind of like, you know, straight hair, like tucked in shirt and pants, sort of like, you know, vibe.
Well, he has a career most people in the 70s didn't.
That's true.
Yep.
And Shelley is like cool and hippie and psychedelic kind of a little bit.
And bell bottoms. Mm-hmm. She has a trailer that she lives in. It's
and
sweet.
Also, preface this, we didn't say, it might be obvious at this point, but Dan Aykroyd, Veda has
single dad
mother. Yeah, he's a widower.
Yes, he clearly does not like understand how to connect to her at all.
Yeah.
And she wants so desperately to connect to him. And I mean, I don't want to go into every single little scene, but we did miss another scene with her dad's friend. I don't know who that actor is.
Oh, the coworker, like his assistant.
Griffin Dune, it says here.
Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Bick. Oh, no, that's Mr. Bixler. That's her teacher.
No, yeah.
No, I don't remember what his name is.
It's his like assistant in the funeral parlor and friend, but he's like really cool with her Veda, and like
they have a good relationship.
They have a nice relationship.
It's fun.
And he will like listen to her when she has something to say. But
and her dad just brushes her off, and he's like, stop bothering me, I'm working. I mean, he's not mean. He's just sort of like head in the clouds. To it. Yeah, for sure. Because he just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
So yes, we get that from the very beginning.
So we're introduced to Shelley. She is answering the ad for a makeup artist, but she does not realize that this is a makeup artist
for dead people.
No, it doesn't say that in the ad.
No, it didn't. So she walks in with her big giant makeup case, and she's all excited
and bubbly.
She's so happy to be there.
I'm so sad for her.
Yeah, and she had left her job at a salon, and she was like, "Oh, all my clients cried when I told them I was leaving." But you don't really know why she left. But anyway, she left.
Well, you do find out later, I think.
Well,
why.
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But she was just so excited, and he's like, "Well, yeah, like you got the job." Harry says that to her. And she was like, "Okay, great." And
well, no, she takes it. She's like, "Well, when do I start?" And he's kind of taken aback because he's thinking she's not going to take this job. She doesn't want to do this. But then she says something I can't remember, but it's something
she knows, so she finds out.
She's like, "All my clients are alive, and all these people were once alive." So, it to me, I guess it makes no difference. I forget. It's something a lot better than that. Better written.
Okay. And I think her reaction to the fact they were dead was, "They're stiffs."
They're stiffs, yeah. Like, they're stiffs. Yeah.
They're stiffs.
Oh, it's so funny. I love her so much.
Yeah, she's great. You can almost hear her saying it. But she just makes the best of it, and she decides to take it anyway. Yeah. And he's shocked. Yeah.
And this is again a later scene, but I want to bring it up now because like immediately it's kind of clear like she is of the hippie generation. She's kind of like big hair, big makeup style. So there's a scene where there's a woman that she it's like one of her first stiffs that she's painting on, and
horrible word to describe a dead person.
And it's this older woman, and Dan Aykroyd comes down and is like almost horrified what he sees because this woman. She like either like a big hair dude and like super kind of like
blue eyeshadow.
Blue
No, the blue eyeshadow up to the eyebrow, which was like a real thing then. And I'm interrupting you, but
well, then he's like, did you not see the picture I gave you? Like, well, I think that was probably an old picture. This was taken a week before she died.
No, she's like, she looks like an old school marm, and I wanted to like spikes her up a little bit. He's like, she was an old school marm. You got her looking like a $2 hooker.
$2 hooker.
Aww. Which is so bad.
That was a lot of money back then.
Well, he immediately tells her to fix it. So there's kind of a bit of a.
Is she sad now?
I think.
No, I think she's learning the ropes, understanding like even though this is what she thinks it looks good, it's not what the family wants or what this person who this person actually was in real life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought I'd just introduce that scene just to give a little bit of how she is. Cause she's like,
got like a pretty like fresh personality. I think she just brings a liveliness to Harry, Dan Aykroyd's character, who is very stuck in his ways and
vanilla
and very vanilla.
Yeah.
Very vanilla. Yeah.
So vanilla. He's pure vanilla. She's that Napoleon. Is it called Napoleon or Napoleon?
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan.
No, wait, not Napolitan. I was like, yeah, that's correct.
Neapolitan.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
I think I've always mispronounced that though.
I know.
It's Neapolitan.
That's a good ice cream,
right?
Yeah.
It's a really. Do you ever
Neapolitan led France to many, many victories.
No, we know. He's a bad boy. We get it. He's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Veda and Shelley actually have a really kind of nice relationship in the beginning. She is very
Back up to Veda and Shelley.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Veda and Shelley actually, they have a pretty nice relationship in the beginning. They're like, she's kind of a cool older woman, and Veda also like another woman around that Veda kind of looks up to a little bit in the beginning. And
they have a bit of a connection there. She's never had that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of, this just tells the summer. And then there's one major plot point is that Veda is an aspiring poet.
Yes, she wants to be a writer.
Edgar Allan Poe. The only
so there
poet
is
I know.
Yeah, the only poet you know. haven't read it will be your next podcast for all the
guys. It is endless. I can't even begin.
But there is a scene where she is out with Thomas J, and she runs into one of her teachers from school, and it's summer now, and his name is Mr. Bixler. And yeah, he's like this cute, sort of younger, curly, dark, and handsome teacher. And they're talking about the summer reading list. And she's like, I've read the whole summer reading list and I'm reading War and Peace for fun now. Like, she's just this overachieving bookworm. God. And Thomas J is like, well, I haven't even started yet. He's just this like little pipsqueak in the back.
Baby boy.
Yeah. And so Mr. Bixler, the teacher, they start talking about how he's teaching a summer writing course. And for adults, yes. And you can tell her ears perk up a little bit, and she's really into it. And so then the scene ends. She goes back into her room, and it's this cute scene where, what's the song that's playing? I can sing it, but I'm not going to try.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And it's just this love. No, it's this love song from the 70s, and she's singing it while looking at her class picture with a heart around his face because she's in love with him. Yeah, it's really cute.
Well, and it's really and I never noticed this until you pointed it out. Yeah. But she is actually in the class picture. She is.
She's looking right up at him with like longing eyes. No, it's super funny. Cute. Yeah.
So you said he like the Macaulay Culkin's like 11.
Well, she's 11, so I'm assuming that he's about the same age. Although he looks quite a bit younger than her.
Yeah, he does.
But he's a tiny kid.
Usually boys do, I think.
We just hear more of her, and she seems much older.
She's bigger with her personality, so I think that's why.
She seems,
Yeah. So we know she loves her teacher. That's definitely established there as a cute little point. Yeah. Okay, what comes after that?
Well, this is one of those movies where a lot of random things happen. It's kind of progressing as summer and different little scenes happen. But basically, I think the next like there's a bunch of scenes where basically Veda and Thomas J like hang out in the summer.
Yeah, and they're like climbing trees. Yeah. They have one specific spot where they go to this willow tree by the lake. And it's so picturesque. Yeah, it's really nice. And she's hanging upside down, and they're talking about what they want to be when they grow up. And it's really, really cute. Yeah. It's
and we also find out that Thomas J, one, that he's teased a lot, and the girls also tease Veda for being
friends with him.
J.
Yeah. So there's like a group of little like kind of popular girls that come in. 11-year-old bitches.
Bunch of little bitches.
Can I volunteer this information?
Sure.
When we watched MasterChef Junior, there was nothing better than Sam just calling all these little girls bitches whenever they didn't get their way. And
I am super critical of most people on TV, but especially the little kids in MasterChef Junior. They'll be talking, and I'll be like, "Gosh, she's such a bitch." And I shouldn't really say this on record, but
too much attention goes fucking honestly, full head.
Some of these kids though they're super obnoxious, so I think that's what I jump to. And honestly, I'm like, she seems like a bitch.
Any kid given that much attention, they think they are exactly what they think they are.
It goes to their head.
The way it goes.
I know nothing about them, but it's become a joke amongst us now.
Well, the second thing about Thomas J that we learn is that Shelley offers both Thomas and Veda like a piece of chocolate, and we find out that Thomas J is allergic to chocolate. He's also allergic to a lot of.
He's allergic to a lot of things. Yeah, so that's like a thing that is addressed.
It's part of his like he's a little weak boy because he's also allergic to everything.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, he's skinny. He's skinny in this movie.
Yeah,
anemic. I'm anemic too. It's fine.
Oh,
I just don't take my iron.
Oh, you should. Yeah, you should.
No, I know.
It's important. But there is a few scenes also that establish the relationship between Shelley and Veda, where she helps her put on makeup.
Oh,
I think that this is around this time because she's a makeup artist, obviously. So Veda starts asking her about what she's wearing, and Shelley brings her into the bathroom and puts lipstick on her, and tells her she's beautiful. And it's a really sweet scene because she doesn't obviously have a mother to do that with.
And I don't know when we kind of find out this information. We do find out eventually that Veda's mother died
in
giving
childbirth.
birth.
And I know when we find that out, it's probably around this time where they go into Shelley's trailer because she wants to see like where she lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this cute little trailer. And I guess Shelley had done all the decorating herself. And she starts to talk about her mother dying during childbirth. And then at the end of that scene, well, there's a couple of things that happen there.
The first important things
part is that she sees a jar of money sitting in the trailer, and she asks Shelley, "What's in that cookie jar?" And they open it and see all these bills, these dollar bills, and Shelley's like, "Oh, you found my secret stash. Like I just keep it for a rainy day." And you can see Veda sort of thinking a little bit. And earlier we had discovered that the course, that the writing course that her teacher was teaching, cost $30. No. And she had asked her dad for $30 because she wanted to take this course. Mm-hmm. And her dad said no, because he doesn't listen to her or pay attention to her, really.
Or
he's just
shit.
He's a very neglectful father.
He's busy taking organs out.
Well, he is. Yeah, he's got a big job, but he also is oblivious. So you can see the wheels in her head are turning when Shelley says all that money's in there for a rainy day. And so at the end of that, then she starts talking about her mother and how her mother died in childbirth. And you know what? That's a lie. That is not correct. Nope. Dan Aykroyd tells her when they go to the trailer. This is another trailer scene that we'll get to later.
Okay.
There's many a trailer scene.
Wow, we really suck at because this movie jumps a lot.
It does, yeah.
It's all over the place. It's not like
sure,
Sam. Sure. There's certain points that are like, we reveal this, but a lot of this movie, there's information that just floats around and is part of her character that we know.
It connects later too. Some of them. So no, in this scene alone, it's her thinking about the jar of money. And then she goes, "I have to use your washroom. You guys can," and Shelley's like, "Okay." And she's like, "You guys can leave without me." So Veda's in there alone. And you don't see what happens, but you know that she has
takes
taken
that money.
Because I think it's almost immediately she walks into the adult classroom and gives Mr.
Bixler
the
money for the course.
Now, does she want to take that course because she's an aspiring poet, or because she wants to see this guy during the summer?
I think a mix of both, but mostly because she really loves her teacher and she wants to be connected to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But it's really sweet because, yes, I think almost immediately after she walks into the class and you see all of these adults in the writing class. And
we're introduced to a big mix of characters in this adult writing class.
I like this part. Yeah. And Mr. Bixler is like, "Veda, I think like you misunderstood. This is an adult writing class." She was like, "No, I paid the money. Like, I want to take the course. I want to be a writer." And then there's this one like hippie guy in the class. He's so funny. He's like, "Yeah, dude, she wants to be a writer. Power to you, people. Yeah."
Oh my God.
And so it's really sweet because she becomes, they really take to her. And it's like this cute, little, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sweet part of the movie.
And I think in that opening scene, she comes prepared with a poem. And it's this little cute poem. It's almost like, "I like ice cream every day. I eat ice cream.
A la mode." But then all the adults are reading their poems in there. And there's this one woman that's like, I'm going to read a poem about something me and my boyfriend went through last night. It's like this sexual poem.
Ew.
Her boyfriend, but it's super poetic and I mean,
and everyone's like,
and sensual,
and she's just sitting there super uncomfortable.
Yeah,
she is uncomfortable. She gets what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. So it's some comic relief as well.
Yeah.
So then I think we're almost at the carnival scene.
No, not yet. No, because we still carnival. So throughout the scenes, we notice there's a little bit of there becomes a connection between Shelley and Veda's father. Harry's his name.
We haven't even gotten there yet.
Sorry.
So much happens in this
bit of connection, and Harry invites Shelley out to bingo.
Which, okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
I want to go to bingo so badly. And there's a bingo hall down the road from us, okay? And this guy beside me doesn't want to go because he's afraid of all the old people yelling at him for being in their bingo hall.
Yes.
Wait, what?
It's like
he's like, I don't want to get in their
prior
space.
to COVID.
No. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. This has nothing to do with COVID at all. This is Will's fear of invading the space of pro bingoers.
I don't want to go into their space where they go every day and then be a newbie and they just look at us.
He does have a bit of a point.
Will, I think they would be delighted.
I don't know, man.
I do. I think they'd be super.
No, this bingo hall in particular, I feel like is just full of people who are like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm winning the big jackpot tonight.
Yeah, you kind of
get
that.
So what the fuck does it matter if one or two people enter the ring? Like,
I'm uncomfortable in a space where we.
I didn't know this about Will.
Probably like 70.
He's just a little apprehensive.
Is that so?
No, it's not. I don't like old people. I'm not going.
Okay,
okay. People are very protective about their game playing environment. I guess it's this, gambling, man. Like people,
but it's open to anyone. Yes,
it is.
Yeah,
but it's
so funny you guys wouldn't be the first people to come in there and do that.
I mean, I don't know, but all the windows are blacked out. It's a gaming hall, so it's like a casino. Basically, and I have no idea what it looks like on the
Is it on St. Clair?
It's on St. Clair West.
Oh yeah, I've passed that. Oh yeah.
And it looks like
I didn't know that's what it was.
Some serious shit goes on in there.
I mean, we're not attached to the hip, so you can go all you want by yourself.
Yo, Alenka, you and me.
I will go.
Let's go to bingo.
I want one of those big stopper things, like papa. The paint, the dot paint waters. Yeah, I loved those things.
Okay,
I'm gonna get bingo and I'm gonna fucking yell it right in their faces. And then guess what, Will? You're not getting any of it.
Yeah, I'm not sharing.
Honestly, it's not money though, is it? It's just prizes.
It's money. This is a real game.
You pay to go in and it's a jackpot.
Yeah.
Oh fuck y'all. We're playing bingo.
Yeah. I'm in. As soon as COVID is
okay.
No more.
BING fucking O.
Mm-hmm.
So they
go to bingo. Great.
Also kind of, I think we've seen him a little bit before, but we're introduced to Harry's brother who's around as well and is part of it. It's like a family business a little bit, so he's there as well. Who he helps out with the funeral home from time to time.
But I think we're missing a part. So they go to bingo, but at this point, you can kind of see that Veda is sort of feeling a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that Shelley and her dad have a thing.
Yeah.
So first she took to Shelley as a role model and a mother figure, but then she's like, "Oh, you're staying around." She could tell. She got her back up a little bit.
Well, this is where it happens. This bingo is the first date.
No, but yes, it is. But you can also tell that she has put the pieces together because she decides to go and spy on them with Thomas J. And she's skeptical. So she goes to Thomas J's front porch and in the classic 70s fashion taps on his window for him to come out, and he sneaks out with her and they go to the bingo hall and hide behind a wall or a window.
Like the bingo hall is like it's almost like a tent, like they're outside kind of. So they hide behind like a flower box, and they yell. So Harry and Shelley are, playing bingo, and then they lean in. And again, they're also like the youngest ones there.
Yeah, they are.
They're
surrounded by gray hairs. Yeah.
Yes.
And they kind of are talking and getting along, and then they kind of lean in. They're going to kiss. And as they go to kiss, Ada yells out, "Bingo!"
And then it also, not only do they not kiss, but there's an old guy that's like, "Someone yelled bingo!" And there's another old person that's like, "What?" And it's this whole
then
funny
they get in a
scene
fight.
where they get into a fight. I'll kick your ass. Yeah, these two old guys start to have a brawl.
So you can see why I'm afraid of going to a bingo.
No, the person that gets bingo doesn't get beat. It's the chumps in between the winners.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So that's sort of the first example of her trying to get between them.
Yeah.
After a while.
So they leave bingo. They go back and they kind of go into Shelley's trailer and have like a little. I think they have a drink and they have a little conversation. And this is where we find out officially that his wife passed away during childbirth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And at one point in the movie, and we forgot about this, and this sort of ties in with this scene too. She's at the writing course, and the teacher tries to sort of coax her into writing a little bit more about her feelings and her thoughts and her deepest fears. And instead of about ice cream, like go deeper, you know? And so she, in her head, there's every once in a while, I think
inner
this happens,
monologue,
only a couple times. There's like this inner monologue where you can hear her voice. And she goes, my deepest fears and secrets, I think I killed my mother. So at that point, you're like, oh my God,
so
what the hell
sad.
happened? Yeah. And then you find out that she died in childbirth. So she holds this guilt, obviously, that she was the reason her mother died. So that's kind of the thing.
Really intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, before Shelley and Harry got together, I realized we missed this scene, and I really want to talk about this scene.
The
Shelley,
grandmother?
yeah. Well, Shelley's finishing up downstairs, and the family's at dinner. So Harry, his brother, Veda, and the grandmother at the table eating dinner.
This is a good one.
And Veda, goes down. Like Shelley comes and was like, "I'm almost finished up," and everyone's having dinner because they all live there.
So are they
Veda,
like dating now?
No. This is pre them dating.
Yeah, this is a while ago.
This is like
just when
we forgot
she's
it.
just the makeup artist at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Veda is complaining and falls on the ground, acting like she's dead.
Yeah.
She lays very still.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's not freaking out. She's just sort of lying there
dead,
still. Yeah.
And Shelley is like, "Oh my God,
is she okay?
Is she okay?" Yeah. And then Harry is just like, "Yeah, she does this. She's not dead. She's fine." And is like ignoring her. This is also where Shelley kind of picks up.
What prompted this?
Well, you learn that Shelley also puts the pieces together. First, she's like, clearly you don't know how to connect to your daughter, but also she is afraid of death. And so she kind of puts those pieces together.
But why would she fake? Why would she still
she just has this obsession with death in a negative way, and is trying to get attention. She's trying to get attention from her father, basically.
Okay,
and she's still not getting it, no matter what she does.
But the brother and Harry are kind of talking shop. They're like, it's not anything specific, but they're talking.
Oh, yeah.
And the grandmother, out of nowhere, just starts singing like a show tune, hello,
my baby, hello, my darling.
Not
something
that
like
one.
That, but her
it's
voice
like,
has that cadence.
Take one for my baby. She just goes right out.
Singing. Shelley's there like, is anything wrong with her? Oh, she's fine. And then the two brothers are just talking shop while the old lady is just...
And she's just singing while the brothers are talking.
Yeah.
It's
That'll
really
be me.
funny.
It's just that's just life at their house.
All I want.
Just another normal day in
my own fucking world at dinner time.
She does that a few times more, actually.
That's just a scene I want to talk about because it's very funny.
Yeah, that's good.
Because it's cute.
So the grandma has some comedic relief throughout it where she does do those weird scenes where she just suddenly starts singing, but otherwise she's completely... She's
so glad they made Alzheimer's so comedic.
Well, it is pretty. I don't know if she has Alzheimer's.
Honestly, it's kind of refreshing though, because I feel like most often when the elderly character has one of those things going on, they don't really make it all that light.
Yeah. They do explain what is up with her, but I don't think they say anything super specific. No. Just that she used to take care of Veda a long time ago. They had a really close relationship, and then her health has deteriorated. So
but she doesn't play bingo.
Guess not.
Wow, she's missing out.
So skip back ahead. We're in the trailer, and Shelley and Harry are dancing. They dance
in the trailer.
What a cute thing. Can I ask you guys, as a couple, have you guys ever just had a moment where you guys are hanging out in your living room or whatever and you start dancing? Slow dancing?
Oh, yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
We've never specifically went now let's put the record on.
No, I know, but
Will has very sweetly asked me to dance with him before.
No, you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to be all manly and stoic.
I'm manly and
stoic. The least.
Because I have never ever. That's so romantic, and I feel like it never ever. I see it in movies all the time, right? But I've never experienced that.
For all you listeners that don't know, Will's
we've danced. We've danced.
We did the boomerang.
Oh, God.
Don't play that.
That is private.
That is for us.
So they I don't think they kiss in the trailer? They do, right?
Yeah, they do. They have their first kiss.
But that's it. They don't do anything else.
As far as we know.
He's a gentleman. No, he leaves the trailer. He literally walks out.
Oh, he does walk out.
He walks out of the trailer and he's like happy and
it's cute.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
But there is a funny thing where
that's
before the date, his brother is like helping him get dressed and he's like, these aren't like the girls we grew up with. This is a hippie generation. Like,
he's
we don't open the door for them.
Oh,
They're
and
feminists.
then he says, so there's one thing that's changed. Bras.
They don't wear bras.
No more bras.
But he's like, don't open the door for And so when they get back, Harry, like, she literally waits for him to open the door because she thinks he's going to open the door like gentleman, and he just doesn't.
He just waits there.
Which makes her think that's a bad trait.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, my brother tried to talk me into it. I haven't been on a date in ages.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny though. Yeah.
But so they're in love. They're together at this point, and Anna
Cuties.
knows, very upset.
Anna.
Oh, sorry,
you mean Veda? Anna's the actor, but
Veda knows and is not very happy.
She's pissed.
Yeah.
She's just jealous that they have a connection, right? And they don't.
Someone that's not her. Like, fair enough.
Yeah.
He's totally ignoring her.
Harry and Shelley are in love.
Yeah.
Veda is in her poetry class. She doesn't like that Harry and Shelley are in love.
She's
pissed. She's been having a pretty good summer with Thomas J, hanging out, swimming and
swinging on trees.
Swinging on the trees.
Okay, so now the carnival.
Yes, this is this is the next major scene. We can assume it's been a while, but it also could have been whatever.
It seems to happen very fast.
Yeah,
the carnival,
movie time,
or their relationship.
Their relationship. Yeah, it progresses very quickly.
Okay,
but in this scene, they are at a carnival. The three of them: Shelley, Harry, and Veda, and they are playing that ping pong game where you like put a ping pong ball into a fish bowl and you win a fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Veda wins a fish and she's super excited. And so the guy hands her fish and she's super pumped. And then the fish she drops the fish.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
And yes. And this is some like, sort of, I guess I don't know if innuendo is not the right word. This is some metaphor for how she's really feeling. She picks the fish up and Shelley goes, oh, honey, do you want us to get you a new fish? And she's like, no, I don't want a new fish. I like this fish just the way it is. I don't want a new one. And so you kind of understand that she's sort of alluding to the fact that she does not want a mother replacement. She does not want them to be together.
Now, does bumper cars happen before or after? Okay, so
then in this, as that comes out of her mouth, Shelley, she goes, Shelley, what's that on your hand? And Shelley kind of looks over at Harry and she's like, well, Veda, we have something to tell you.
No way.
And they tell her that they are
no
be
way.
Married. Yes.
Already?
So Veda, and I actually think maybe at this point, maybe she says the fish thing. But anyway,
that's why I say it could be in the a little bit longer in the future in the summer, but it's still just one summer. That
it's also in the summer,
place,
So that comment is all wrapped up in this whole scene where she's just not having it. Yeah. So then they decide to go on bumper cars. Oh, sorry.
Real quick, I believe there's one more scene before they fall in love that's also kind of important.
I thought Will was going to do something.
They're not fully together when this scene happens.
With the period? No, we missed that part. That's a funny scene.
With the ex-husband.
Oh.
They're not together yet when this scene happens. So the family has a barbecue outside. Shelley's invited because they're friendlier. And some guys come along. We see them looking at Shelley's van trailer.
Two goofy looking guys with like curly haircuts. They look like a bunch of
goofs.
Sleazy goofs.
What a bunch of goofs.
This is before the engagement, after the first date sort of thing.
Okay.
And they're all having a barbecue, and we can also see that Veda is like not liking Shelley after she discovered that they went on a date and all that. But these goofs
She's
come
throwing
along,
shade.
And it turns out this is Shelley's ex-husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
how did they find her?
She asks him that.
Yeah.
He says something about, he does. He says something about asking the
I've
people
been
like where she used to
you.
work.
Yeah.
Like she asked her old job where she was, and they knew.
And we found out
Still,
the trailer
to
is
find out where
his.
she is on that day. Oh.
I know. So yeah, the trailer's hit. Well, he says it's his.
Yeah.
But I guess
they probably bought it together or something, and he's like,
like this is my half.
Yeah. And we can kind of deduce this is why she left her job. This is why she kind of like is
left
living
her life.
Wanted a new start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this crazy goof.
So then in the middle of that,
we should talk about abusive relationship partners as goofs from now on.
Oh my gosh.
Stop being such a goof.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he definitely, you can tell it's something serious for sure.
Yeah.
But in the middle of this whole interaction, you can see Harry coming over and sort of trying to.
Well, he's trying to calm them down. He's like, do you want to join us for a burger or a hot dog? Do you want to? He's trying to be like the nice guy.
Yeah.
And the guy's just being real rude. So then at a certain point, Harry just like, does he punch him?
He comes over, he puts his arm around him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just punches him in the stomach.
Oh, yeah, he starts punching him in the gut.
And then he's like, if I ever see you around my property again, I know something about you being as dead as the people, as dead as the people in my basement or something like that. And so this guy is just like, oh, screw it, you keep the goddamn trailer.
Yeah,
and he leaves. And so
so we say
I did not gather this from this character.
Well, that's the point.
He's loosening up.
Yes. Well, he's in love.
Well, he seems like this kind of like straight laced. He's kind of like, and also a little bit of a pushover, possibly a little bit, but like
that's what I kind of thought.
But then this kind of comes out.
Shelley wears the pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
all S names wear the pants in relationships.
So that's a previous scene, but now they're engaged and they're all happy. But they're
the bumper cars.
Oh yeah, so the bumper cars.
Yeah.
They get engaged. So they tell her about the engagement, and then they're like, "Oh, let's go." And then Veda wants to go play bumper cars
with Shelley. And then as soon as they get in the bumper cars, you can tell that Veda's like ready to fucking
kick
her ass in those bumper cars. And it kind of just shows that she's out to get her in that scene.
Yeah.
But it's still like lighthearted. It's not like anything super serious.
Like there's fun music playing and she's just like super like evil face on while she's trying to crash into Shelley.
Yeah.
And Shelley is like laughing, but then eventually Shelley's like,
what's
going on here?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that.
But there is another major life moment that happens. You can go into it.
Yeah, Will's like passing it over to Sam because I don't want to talk about it. No, I'm just kidding. So Veda, so Veda gets her period and it's kind of funny. Like it's a funny scene where Shelley sort of helps her through the process and explains to her. She gives her the sex talk basically because she had never had any of that because her dad clearly, didn't know how to approach any of that stuff. And so they kind of bond in that way as well. And then she walks out of the house. I remember thinking this was so funny, this line. She walks out of the house after it was all done and she's like trying to act all like, I don't want to say sexy because she's 11. That's weird. But she's trying to act kind of sensual around Thomas J.
Oh.
Thomas J. sitting outside. Because I think she's...
That's not what happens.
Yep, she walks out and there's like this music.
She push him down or no?
Yes, that's coming.
Oh, that's
so
coming.
It starts out.
Well, can I say that like that moment in your life, at least for me, like I was ready and waiting for that to happen. I was like, when is it going to happen to me? When is it going to happen to me?
Yeah.
I swear, I don't think I told my mom, but I was like, I'm going to fake it. I'm going to fake that I got it. I did.
Really?
Oh yeah. I got one of my mom's pads and I remember grabbing a red marker and I was like, I'm gonna fake it, and then I didn't have the courage to like fake it because I was like, well, when it does happen I might be a little scared, so I didn't.
Were you not totally taken aback? Because I remember thinking, this is not what I saw in the movies, this is not what I expected.
I was not
what the commercials tell me.
No, because I read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
And I knew, as we all did, Judy Blume.
Yeah, I knew what was coming.
It's a massacre. It is not like even the same color that you think it's going to be. I told my mom that I I was like, something is wrong with me. I think I cut myself down there. I was like, something happened.
Yeah. Will's just like sweating beside you right now.
Will's actually super chill with
he's
that.
like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. No, but it's true. Like it was a moment that like, I think one other girl in my grade it was known that she had gotten it. And I was like, I need that to happen to me now. And I was like, why hasn't it happened?
And then it happens and you're like,
and you're like,
fucking kidding me? I have to deal with this until I'm...
Yeah. And I remember being like, Mom, it hurts. And like, she didn't explain it well enough because like I'm Catholic, they don't talk about stuff. So like,
no.
So yeah, like I thought that it was like getting a cut, like a wound.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was terrified. And then I was like, oh, it's just this awful, annoying pain.
Right. I know. It's really, they don't, maybe now, like there are more resources to prep kids, but I really felt unprepared.
Oh yeah.
So then, she walks out and she's trying to be
confident.
Sensual.
She was like, I'm a fucking woman.
She's like, I'm a woman now.
Yeah.
And Thomas Shay's like, what's that on your face? Because she's wearing makeup.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And she's like, oh, it's makeup. And then she gets all of a sudden, she's like, yeah, you don't, or I don't know. She kind of turns on him and she gets all pissed off. She pushes him to the ground. Oh, because he's like, do you want to go play? Like, do you want to go climb trees with me? And she's like, no. And she pushes him down. She's like, no, I don't. And don't come back for 5 to 7 days. I used to love that line. And then she storms out. Yeah. So it's just kind of this moment where she's going through, something sort of monumental.
Yeah.
So there is a scene where so her and Thomas J are they're hanging out in the woods.
Yeah.
And they're like walking around, and this is kind of I think at this point she's like venting about the whole engagement and Shelley and stuff.
Right.
This is after she pushes him down?
That was just like a little scene. It didn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
It was just like
it's kind of a joke.
It was part of the coming of age like portion of this movie.
But this scene where they I think she trips. What happened? Someone trips.
So she's like ranting about Shelley, I think, and they see a beehive.
A beehive, yeah.
In the distance. They see a beehive.
He's allergic.
Hold on. So don't jump the gun. So they see a beehive and they're like, oh, cool, a beehive. That's so awesome. And I don't remember what happens.
Well, I think she trips and falls, but she loses her mood ring.
She loses her mood ring in the woods.
In the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, my mood ring.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the bees start coming out of the beehive. And then it's like a fun scene. Like the music picks up and they're like, oh my God, the bees, they're out. They're going to get us. So they're running. Yeah. Bees. Skipped to the gif of Oprah. Bees.com.
I don't, not familiar.
It's okay. Never mind. It's a very obscure reference.
But they run away.
They run away and then they run all the way into the water and jump into the water with all their clothes on. It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
So there's that.
The same scene, it's significant too, kind of, but like they're sitting on the tree.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, she's talking about kissing.
Have you ever kissed anyone before? And then he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I know how. And she's like, you have to practice on your hand like this. And she starts kissing her hand. And then they kiss.
Yeah, just for fun.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep saying that about this. It's cute.
I keep forgetting that like, it's weird, but like I keep these like things are like things that actually happen when you're of that age.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so weird that you forget that it's like, oh, yeah, I didn't know fucking anything. And I was I'm a pro at all this stuff. Yeah. Let me educate you.
I know what love is.
Yeah. Walked out of the house knowing how to do the boomerang,
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Didn't even know that there was names for that stuff before. Not that that's like a thing, but like who knew there was names for like different, ways about fornicating.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so that's like a nice little scene.
So they have a cute little
This is after the bees or this is before?
I think this is after. I think it might skip after they jump out of the water. They're sitting under the tree. And then that happens.
Drying off.
Yeah. So it's super sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I'm drawing a bit of a blank.
I am too. I'm not sure exactly
There's a weird part.
what happens, but I honestly, like, I think we're getting to the big moment.
The big moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
boy.
okay, hold on. Let me be the one to say it.
You want to say
stressed.
the whole thing? Okay.
I think I do.
Yeah. Well,
I do.
I don't
but
know
I'm
why
just
she's
trying
sad,
to gather.
but she's sad.
I'm trying to gather my thoughts here.
Yeah.
This is really bad.
This is the one that you cry at? This is the part that you cry at?
Oh, not quite.
Yet. No,
not quite. Trust me, I'll let you know.
I'm so nervous.
So okay. So then it skips. I'm just gonna there might be some filler, but we've talked about all the important things. So there's a scene then where Thomas J goes back into the woods. And
he goes to her house, but she's not available to play for some reason. I remember she's sad or she doesn't want to go out to play with him.
That's not correct.
Really?
She would never do that.
Okay.
Oh, this might have been
Okay. You got it.
No, this isn't it. I don't think that that's what happens.
Okay.
But I can't say for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe she isn't available.
Yeah.
So Thomas Shay goes into the woods, and you can tell that he's there trying to find her ring that she lost, her mood ring. And he's searching through all the leaves, and he's trying to find it. And then he uncovers the mood ring, and he's like, "Yes, I'm so excited." So he picks up the ring, and then it flashes to the beehive.
No.
And the bees are like buzzing around, and he looks up, and the music starts to swell, and you can see the bees like coming at him, and he's swatting them all away, and he's in distress. So then it cuts away from that, and you cut to Veda's home, and there is a police officer at the door.
No.
And he takes off his hat.
No.
And you can tell that he's telling them some really sad news.
Yeah.
No.
I know. I'm going to cry even talking about it. Anyway, even though I've seen this movie so many times. So then you kind of gather like what happened. He died. Yeah.
And
really?
It's a really heartbreaking scene when Harry goes up into her room to tell Veda. And that she's just like...
she's feeding her fish.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe.
Well, and he's like, so, yeah, Thomas J was in the forest and he got stung by a bunch of bees.
And she was like, oh, I told him to stay away from those pesky bees. And he was like, well, he was allergic to bees. And I forget how she responds to that. She's just like...
Well, he definitely says the words, like, Thomas J, he died. Like, he does say that. Yeah.
They were just too much, he says.
Yeah,
there were just too many of them.
Yeah.
And you can see her putting the pieces together. And it's so sad. And so she runs out of the house immediately, right?
No.
She does. She runs.
No. No, she runs away after
she runs away to her teacher.
No, that's after the... No, that's...
Oh, that's after the... Okay.
Yeah, this is after the moment, your moment, your big moment.
Sorry. Yeah.
So this is the sad... So Thomas J died, and now we're prepping for his funeral in the funeral home. Like he's...
in her house, which I think was a little bit... I mean, is it the only funeral home around?
I mean, this is supposed to be like, small town
They
nowhere.
probably
like,
wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like he was close to their family. They probably wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, also, I feel like if your daughter was connected to the guy, you would probably say, hey, I would love to host.
Well, basically, she doesn't leave her room for days. Yeah. Right. And there's a cute, I keep saying cute. Sorry, that's my word of the podcast. There's a nice moment where this girl comes to the door looking for Veda, and it's one of the girls who was in the Popular Girl crew before, who was sort of making fun of Thomas J and Veda. And she's you could tell in that scene where they were making fun of her that like this one particular girl sort of felt bad about it. So she comes and she's like, oh, I really wanted to say hi to Veda and like tell her I'm so sorry about Thomas J. And Shelley had answered the door and was just like, Veda's not wanting to come out right now. And this girl's like, oh, well, you tell her I came by. And And Shelley's like, sure, I will. And spoiler alert, this girl actually it like becomes her best friend at the end. But and also is, I think, a little bit in the second movie as well. That's not really important. But there's a whole scene or whole like moment where she just like doesn't come out of her room for a few days. And Shelley's like trying to confront Harry about like, basically like open your eyes. Like she's a kid. This is like,
she's obsessed with
death. Like she's growing up and her best friend just died. You need to talk to her. Yeah. So the funeral, at this point, I think they have that conversation the funeral is like happening.
Yeah. Because Shelley won't come out of the room. They're like,
Veda.
Veda.
Yeah. So you can hear the funeral music. You can see like the casket, and it's awful. And it's an open casket, which is horrible for a little boy.
For a bee stung, allergic.
Well, he looks perfectly normal. So there's no.
I mean, that's what funeral directors do. They make people look the best
like they
can,
were when
even
they
if
were
it's
living.
Pretty horrific sometimes.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's their job.
That's
Really? Even if it's like very bad?
Because everybody wants to remember.
That's crazy.
Remember people like.
I know, but I would just say close casket then. It was bad. Like, save the time.
Yeah.
I guess. We all know he's there.
Yeah.
We hope.
But this is okay. I'll explain this part because this is the part where I cry my fucking eyes out every time. And actually, I was telling someone we were going to do this episode, and this person said the line that I cry at every time immediately. So I was like, okay, this is obviously a very iconic part where everybody's tears fall. So the funeral's going on. Veda hasn't left her room for days. And you can see the man at the front of the funeral parlor speaking about Thomas J. And he's saying all sorts of like, heartfelt words about who he was as a kid and how tragic it is. And the parents are in the front row crying, and it's so heartbreaking. And you can see Veda slowly coming out of her room and walking down the stairs as this like music is going, and the guy is saying all this stuff about this kid, and she's walking down the stairs really slowly, and she's obviously like crying, and she's watching as they're talking about him, and Thomas J's parents are crying, and it's this whole thing. And she starts watching through the slat of the staircase. And as he's speaking, she walks further in, gets to the doors of the funeral room, opens them up, and starts walking over to his casket as this funeral director or this funeral, like
the priest, I think it's a reverend.
Is it a priest? The reverend is speaking. And she's sobbing, and she just like slowly walks over to his open casket, and then everything stops, and like the reverend starts to like, slow his speech and look at her, and everyone's looking at her, and she walks right up to Thomas J. and she goes, "Do you want to go tree climbing, Thomas J?" I'm like gonna cry. And then she says the line. Well, I don't know. You got to watch it. It's hard when I'm just describing it. She goes, "His glasses. He can't see without his glasses."
Oh, that's so devastating.
I don't know why it's that part. It just like gets me every time because it's the way that she says it, as if like he's still alive.
But yeah, even the context is like she hasn't accepted that it's happened. And that's devastating.
My whole I'm breaking. So yeah, the glasses thing. So he can't see without his glasses. And then she like runs out sobbing.
Yeah, Harry tries to like go
console
get her.
Yeah, and she just runs.
Breaks free. She runs. She like runs down. I don't know how far he lives, but she runs right away to her teacher's,
Mr. Bixley's
house. Just so upset and crying, and he was on his way, which is like he's on his way halfway through the
I'm like the funeral started, buddy. You're late.
Yeah. He's like, I was just about to come. And then we see Mr. Bixley's, I think it's his wife, right? Or is it his girlfriend?
It's his wife.
Yeah, it's his wife come out, and that is almost it's kind of like but that is also super devastating to her.
Right. No, but she tells him, she's like, "I love you."
Oh yeah.
She's like, "I love you. I've always loved you." And he was like, "Oh, Veda," and then his wife comes out. He's like, "This is my wife, Jenny," or something. And then of course her whole world crumbles even more.
Yeah.
And so she runs away from that and she goes to her doctor's office and she goes, I'm dying.
Okay.
I'm dying. And like, I don't know what happens there, but
then she's like, like
I can't breathe. It hurts too much.
Yeah.
And then she runs away.
Yeah, she runs away from home, and Harry and Shelley are like looking for her. It becomes nightfall. They can't find her.
She hides in a tree.
Yeah, she hides
the
in
willow
the
tree.
So
Yeah.
But eventually she does come home. Like,
well, you think at one point that she had died.
Fucking hard running away.
Die,
Basically, they have an officer come to the door and take his hat off again.
Stop.
Are you fucking
I can't handle it.
Yeah, no, she did not die. He's just
you better put that hat back on.
Yeah.
Put that fucking hat back on.
He did that on purpose. But
you
he's
don't
like,
do that.
He's like, we haven't found her yet, Harry. And then she comes in the door, and it's funny. I realized that this is not really connected to this, but nobody had cell phones back then.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There's a particular moment where I think it was Veda was waiting on the steps for someone to come home. And I'm just like, I guess you wouldn't even know.
That'd be so scary.
Because nobody has phones.
Exactly.
Like if you're going to be late, you can't tell anyone.
Yeah.
So she comes in the door and he's like so excited to see her home. Mm-hmm. Probably like the first time she felt actually loved by her dad.
No. Remember?
No.
See her come home. Shelley, she comes home and Shelley's there, and Shelley like holds her and puts her to bed and is like combing her hair and stuff in the bed.
That's right.
And in the middle, and then Harry gets home because Harry goes back
was looking for her. Yeah.
And he gets home, and this is where he comes in, and basically she tells him I killed mom.
He comes into her room.
Yeah, and she tells him this is how she feels about she thinks that she killed her mother.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And he tells her no, that you didn't kill your mother.
No, she held you for a little bit and you made her so happy.
Mothers die in childbirth. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she kind of relieves that lifelong worry for her that she's been holding.
And it's kind of like him finally opening
This is
up.
Shelley or it's him?
This is Harry.
This is Harry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then there's another moment that makes me cry. So then flash forward, time has passed and she is in a cafe with her dad.
Is this no?
There's nothing else.
Yeah. So fast forward, she's in her last poetry class. Well, she comes back. She hasn't been to poetry class since this happened.
The other thing happens before.
No, that's the end of the movie.
No, the poetry class is the end.
Really?
Yes, it is. I promise, because it's the poem. It is.
It is.
She writes a poem.
So basically, there's a scene where she's in a cafe with her dad, and in the window sees Thomas J's mom. And also there's an introduction to his mom, that's pretty brief, where his parents are just the sweetest little old people. It's really nice. Yeah. His mom is this timid, sweet little short-haired lady. And she's walking by and taps on the window, and Veda and her dad go out, and she was like, I've been meaning to come over. And she reaches into her wallet and she's like, Thomas J had this on him. And it's her mood ring. Mm-hmm. And I forgot to mention that there was a note about the mood ring, because Thomas J's like, that's a cool ring you have. And she was like, yeah, but it's always black.
Mm.
Yeah.
And when his mom gives it back to her, it's blue.
Oh,
I know. So, yeah. So then it flashes forward to her very last poetry class.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, she comes back. It's clear she hadn't been there
for a while,
and they all welcome her back and hug her.
Yeah,
and she came back and she presents her final poem.
Yeah, and she's like, "I don't have long. I just wanted to read a poem I wrote," and it's so sweet. It's I could probably say it because it is I don't want to say it, but it's I probably know it by heart.
But it's much deeper than ice cream.
Yeah, very much. It's about the willow tree and how they used to swing from the willow tree, and Yeah, just like the representation of the willow tree in his life and friendship.
That is so sad.
It's very profound, yes. And it's just a total like jump from her ice cream poem. You can tell that she's obviously, this traumatic event has also sort of sparked some beautiful like writing from her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then that ends, and then the song "My Girl" starts to slowly play.
It? Nice.
And it opens up to her and that girl, the other girl that that came to her door, who was like one of the popular girls that decided to sort of be her friend. They're riding bikes together, and she starts to say like that they like were in the same homeroom that year, and things
they said like a friend conversation.
They have a friendship, and
school.
It's her inner monologue that's saying this.
Yeah,
right now.
I think so. Yeah,
she's talking about how like she's starting like a certain grade next year, and they're friends, and they're in the same homeroom, and so just that like life's okay. Like I made it. It's all good.
That's nice.
And then they ride off into the distance, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sad boy.
Yeah. And then the second movie, I mean, I'll say it because I don't think you'll have anyone on
who
here
knows?
talking
might have
about
you back to talk to My Girl too.
Really?
Babe, we have every movie in existence to get through. So,
babe.
You know? Babe.
We got a lot of movies.
We are just babe to each other. I don't even think I say Will ever. Or Sam. Like, I don't even think you've ever said my name.
Samantha.
Samantha.
It's like so weird hearing you say my actual name that's not Sam, right?
Huh.
I'm Babe.
Weird.
And it's Babe. Or Hun.
Yeah.
Like, we don't call each other their names.
No, that's fine. It's cute. It's cute. I think my parents call each other baby. That's because that's how they call each other. Baby.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Baby.
Baby. Yeah, baby.
Well, yeah, that's
my girl.
My girl. My girl.
My girl.
Okay, that was like sad.
Is that anything you're expecting?
No.
Did you expect him to die?
No, I thought they were gonna fall for each other.
Well, they did. They could have been.
I know, but I thought they were gonna end up together.
Can I tell you like the general plot of the next movie?
Sure.
It's basically he's just trying to find out more about her birth mother.
Oh, okay.
So she's older at this point. I think in that movie she's like 15.
Yeah.
And she tries to go find more information about her birth mother. It's really good. Yeah, we should watch it.
Watch it.
We should watch it. You come watch it.
Bad.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Alenka.
Yeah.
How many bee stings
I
do
knew
you give
it.
this movie?
I knew it. You
too
cynical bastard.
How many? Enough to kill a young
A
Macaulay
lethal
Culkin?
amount. A lethal amount for an 80-pound-year-old baby boy. Sweet blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby.
Oh my goodness.
He used to be
morbid.
something, now.
The drink makes sense now, right? With some honey in it.
With the honey?
I'm so glad I actually didn't put the honey in. So I'm
You're
very
not supporting
pleased.
that morbid reference.
I do not accept his death, and it never happened. That is so devastating, though. I
highly recommend you watch it. I
don't like when
have
cute
a long
kids
list
die in movies.
Yeah.
You don't see it,
I know, but he's such a
You do see
sweet
his
boy.
dead body in a casket. Though, so.
You do. Yeah.
But it's really just.
Am I the only one that when I watch a movie, I look to see if they're breathing? I look to see if I can see if
I
they're
do that
breathing.
every single
Yeah.
time. And we watch a lot of Greys, as we've said. So I do that quite often.
Have you caught any?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yeah. Very slight. But yes, there's been a lot of dead people on Greys. I know some of them do have slight breath.
A few deaths.
For sure.
A bunch of losers. Hold it, am I right?
I know. It's your big break.
No, that's upsetting though. I don't like that.
It's a good movie though.
Yeah.
It does sound like a nice movie, but like not a nice movie, but very reminiscent and like, a feel good of like,
nostalgic.
Man, I used to be so stupid and like thought I knew everything though.
But it's also just a very carefree, like they're both so carefree as kids. And that's what also gives you that sort of nostalgic feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's
Remember
very
those
much,
days?
Yeah, like you sit back and you're like, wow, life used to be so fucking
so
simple and really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go climb
No, it
trees?
sucks. No, just kidding.
Sucks. I haven't climbed any trees in quarantine.
I used to love climbing trees when I was younger.
Me too.
Yeah.
In high school, I still, like me and my group of
Mhm.
friends, we would go to the park and climb trees.
Yeah, that's awesome. I miss that.
We were outcasts. We're drama kids.
Oh, I'm right with you.
Well, that's lovely and terrifying. Good.
Well, Sam,
Good.
thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and moving from the dinner table to the couch.
You are so very,
Yes.
very welcome.
If people want to get in contact with you, if they want to follow you to see your wonderful work, or
They want to hire
if they
you.
want to hire you
It's a shameless
to
plug.
shoot some
should.
photographs.
Yes.
Where can they find you?
Oh, many places. Yeah, you can find me on my website first at www.samanthapolzin.ca, Polzin. You can also find me on Instagram at Sam Polzin Photo, and on Facebook at Samantha Polzin lifestyle photographer. But I guess you can search facebook.com/Polzin Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Perfect.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Hire her, pay her to do photos for
She's
you.
absolutely exceptional. I
Oh.
10 out of 10 vouch for this woman.
Thank you.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And I'm not dating her.
Oh,
Ew.
so it really means something.
Oh, I know it does.
This one's very
It
biased.
does.
Aw, thanks so much for having me. This was awesome.
It was
Having
good
that-
having you on and having the last sentences you say not slurred together. So that was refreshing.
Oh, yes. I'm fully aware of where I am.
Yeah.
I will wake up knowing we finished this podcast,
We will-
unlike last time where I had to ask.
Well, we'll break you next
Oh,
time.
man.
We'll break you next time.
My girl too. We won't.
Okay, it's
who knows
on.
what's coming.
My girl too,
It's on.
extra hammered.
Extra hammer.
Oh, God.
I'm excited.
Well, if you want to
Oh, yeah.
follow us,
I always forget.
you can find us on Instagram at Haven't Seen a Podcast, on Facebook at Haven't Seen a Podcast, and on Twitter at haven't_seen_it. There we will post so many fun things, pictures and snippets, and cool
Boomerangs.
stuff, boomerangs, different kind of boomerang. And you can also go on our website.
That one's on our
www.
fans only or only fans account.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
You have to pay $20 monthly membership for that
Yeah.
one.
Haven't seen a podcast.com.
Slash
only
OnlyFans.
there. As well as the list of movies Olinka hasn't seen, super long. Check it out.
Mhm.
You know, see if maybe request an episode. Maybe we'll start doing episode.
Oh
requests.
man, I would love if you guys would request movies because I literally just Google movies and go off that list. So if you guys have movies that you're like, I wonder if she's never seen it. Guess what, bitch? I haven't.
Well, the only way you can request is if you interact. So please like, comment, subscribe, review.
Don't
on
sound too
Facebook,
needy, Will.
on iTunes, on Google Podcast, wherever you can leave a review, leave one. Even if it's a 1-star, even I would like to know if you hate us. Just do it. Okay.
Well, don't just do it if you don't mean it, though. Because
Yeah, don't do it because I told you to. Do it because you want to.
Because you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to that token, do what you want, when you want, and just be your own person. And also stay the fuck away from bees, everybody. Have a great fucking night.